Oh, man.
Is that not creepy or what?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That is out of The Simpsons, 100%.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have saved this for like Halloween. I don't know. It's gross.
Welcome back to the 100% Wild podcast, brought to you by DeerCast and Forum Energy. I'm your host, Matt Drury. Your co-host, Tim Chelsvik, is somewhere in the air right now over Tennessee, I think. So he's missing this, but I got a couple special in-studio guests. I got Mr. Jim Richman with us. He's the editor-in-chief of DeerCast. What's up, Jim?
What's up? What's up?
And then we got another special guest all the way from Nebraska, Mr. Brian Wiese on the Drury Outdoors team, co-host of Critical Mass on the Outdoor Channel, and Mr. Point of View Angle. This guy, if there's a point of view camera, he's got it turned on and he's getting every angle. Him and his buddy, Cody Sherrick, are the kings of it.
We need all the help we can get when we're out there.
So originally Tim was going to be here, but his flight got delayed. So Jim's stepping in for him, and Brian's in town because a couple of the Drury Outdoors team members, probably about 10 or so, took it upon themselves to just come into St. Louis this weekend. We used to always have what we called the Shoot the Thrill Awards, and it was kind of a production summit, the fall meeting, we would call it, every year in person in St. Louis. And around COVID, we stopped doing it. And I think maybe a couple years after that, we had guys in one more time, and then it's been a couple years.
The first form meeting.
Yeah. So the team members just took it upon themselves, and we got a private group, Facebook group, and they're like, what if we it was an unsanctioned Drury Outdoors team, and you were kind of one of the leads of that.
Yeah, it's fun to get together.
So anyways, we got some guys coming into St. Louis, and I think they're going to be playing some golf tomorrow and probably drinking some cocktails, and we're going to meet up and drink more cocktails after that.
It's fun, the camaraderie of the group and the amount of knowledge that's spread just by hanging out.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from the rest of the team that it's fun to hang out. They become your friends because we all share the same interests. So It's going to be a fun time. I wish we could do it annually.
That's right. Well, maybe one day we'll get back to it.
Yeah,
it was getting to a point. It was we had a Zoom call today with all 60 team members. And I was saying on the call that it used to, and this was right before your time, but the award show we did, it was a major event. It took us a month of producing it. The editors producing actual awards and everything. It was pretty legit. And it was just too costly and too time consuming when we had all the TV shows we were trying to crank out. And then, now we do the semi-live edits start picking up about this time that we put on YouTube and DeerCast. So it just got to be too much, but it certainly was a fun time.
I heard that Mike was volunteering for next year to do all the month of editing pre-meeting.
On his own after hours.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anybody listening or watching doesn't know a little bit about Brian or hadn't seen some of his hunts, we featured him there in the deer season series a few times. Have you been on the Dream Season Live series at all?
Never Dream Season Live, just on deer season.
And then, of course, you've been on Critical Mass how many years now?
This is year 7 for us, I believe.
So been with us a long time. And I mentioned the uniqueness of the point of view camera angles, like a GoPro type angle, and it's the old tact cams. You could turn them on with a remote push of a button, and you turn on 10 cameras. Well, you guys took it to the next level. But what I also want to talk about is your long range shooting, because that's pretty much like every season on Critical Mass, you're shooting a mule deer or a whitetail or something at it feels like 400 yards or 500 yards or 300 yards or whatever. So kind of take me through some of that aspect of your setup, what kind of gun you're using. I know you got a suppressor on it, so take me through some of that.
So we're going to go point of view angle shots first, or
let's
long
go
range
with
shooting?
The long range shooting, because that's something I'm fascinated with, because we don't really do a lot of it here. It's usually 150 year in when we're shooting a deer.
So on the long range shooting side, we're in Nebraska, so we get the blessing of hunting as if we're hunting big timber, because some of the hunts are big timber, and then some of it is wide open. And we're kind of in this transition zone where we get the best of both worlds. We're not sitting in big woods of Ohio. We're also not sitting in the vastness of eastern Colorado. we're right smack dab in the middle. And so we pride ourselves on trying to be very flexible on how we hunt. And honestly, I had a gentleman teach me when we used to guide. We used to run a guiding operation, and a guy named Tony Evans. He taught me it's very simple on long range shooting, and at the time it was before the CDS dials on the Leupolds.
Those make it easy.
Yeah, I thought 225 yards is a long shot.
Right.
Everyone has their rifle sighted in for 100 yards. You're like, yeah, do I hold up a little bit? And the only thing he taught me at the time was you sight your rifle in for 2 3/4 high at 100 yards. The maximum rise of the bullet at 125, 130 yards will be 3 inches. At 250, if you're shooting a Magnum, or 225, if it's a non-Magnum round, you'll be zeroed in, and 3 inches low at between, let's call it 300 to 350, depending on what you're shooting. So essentially, if you're 2 3/4 inches high at 100 yards, anything between 0 and 300 on most of your rifles, you put the crosshairs on the deer and it's dead. So it started there.
Yeah.
And then now with the CDS dials, literally you can buy, just measure your velocity. What are those things called? You just measure your velocity, set your sight height. Leupold sends you the
So the measuring the velocity, like the bullet on the back of the box will tell you all those details, right?
It's close, but it's usually high.
Oh, okay.
That's usually on a 24-inch barrel, and depending on what you're shooting silencer.
So like the CDS, it stands for custom dial system, and basically what it is depending on where you're hunting at, and this is only for their higher end scope. So the VX5, VX6.
Some of the Freedoms, I believe, have CDS as well. Yeah.
So you would send them an email or whatever, the customer service, and you tell them where you're hunting, the gun you're using, the bullet, the cartridge you're using, and the manufacturer, and the reason why where you're hunting is important is because the elevation changes how the bullet flies.
Absolutely, not much, right?
Okay.
So, like for me, if I'm hunting at home, it's at 1,500 foot of elevation. Right? If I'm hunting in western South Dakota, I might be at 25 to 3,000, or if I'm hunting in Idaho, 7,000. And so we usually go up on the elevation, especially we set it up really more for our South Dakota hunts. But it's super easy, and basically, if the deer's at 100, you zero it at 100. That's 1. If he's at 300, you click it to 3, and if it's at 400, you click it to 4, and then you have to worry about your side wind adjustments.
Yeah,
and a minute of angle is 1 inch at 100 yards, and so you can almost use. I like the Windplex reticle because it's an easy side elevation, and for the most part, if you have a 15 mile an hour wind at 500 yards, you're talking around a foot. And so basically anything within 500 yards, if you're paying attention to your crosswind, if it's a crosswind 10 to 15 mile an hour, you aim a foot left, you're going to hit the target just by dialing.
I got a chance to, like in the Midwest, you're in the Midwest and you're using it out, in Nebraska, but like say Missouri, your typical Illinois, Missouri, Iowa hunting, you're not really getting to get into that as much, the dial as much. You go to 200. But like when you're out west, and like when I went to Leupold's shooting academy, it was fun to get to play with that feature because, I actually was going out to 10, going out to 1,000, going to 11, 12, 13. And you crazy. See it working, and all you got to do is adjust for that windage by holding, like you said, holding left or whatever. And it is amazing to see it working as you're dialing and seeing how, if they got 10 targets out there and you're just changing, the dial and not anything else. It's pretty neat. And holding on, Yeah.
So Brian, what are you using whenever you're out there? What are you using? I know in the military and in different shooting schools and stuff, they'll teach you to check your wind direction, your wind values at distance. So if you're shooting from one side of a canyon to another, that those distances those wind variables can change. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for leaves? What are you looking for in terms of being able to adjust that windage?
There's some really high-tech things out. It's just observation, like you said, wind. Because we video, very rarely do we take shots, 400 plus. Our goal is always 300 or less. If you guys notice, we really try hard for that. So wind doesn't play that big of a role, especially with these bigger BC bullets like the 6.8 Western. Right. I think the BC is how much air drag essentially, and it's a newer technology, these newer cartridges. basically, if I'm shooting an old 270, it might blow the bullet a foot, where these new high BC cartridges might only blow it 4 inches. And so it takes a lot of the human element out. That's like the 6.8 Western, for example. It's the kick of a 270 and the knockdown power of a 300 Win Mag. I mean, it's a great all around rifle. That's actually what I'm shooting now, is a 6.8 Western, because of, it marries both world of, I was always a 300 Win Mag guy. But now it's, 6.8 Western is essentially, less recoil, easier to shoot. The silencers are a game changer as well.
They are.
Some of the ranches we hunt, you can only hunt with a silencer.
Really?
That's why we got one. Is he's like, well, hey, if you hunt here, I'm only allowing you if you have a silencer, because I don't want my deer going on to the neighbors and letting them shoot it. So silencer, or you can't hunt here. Okay, so we got a silencer 11 months later.
Well, I know there's several countries around the world that require you to hunt with one as well. So I believe like New Zealand's one that you can only hunt with a suppressor.
And it's in the recoil, like for your children, everything.
It's a big difference.
I love it. And the deer can hear, it's a different sound, but they don't know necessarily where it came from. And so it's a lot less pressure on the deer. If you're big into doe management, I've seen, you're able to shoot several deer pretty easily.
On a windy day, Mark and Perry, I think they had shot like 8 or something when they were, doe hunting one day. And it was like, holy cow. And they just drop in the field and the deer kind of look around, and then it's like, all right, back to feeding, pretty amazing.
So at what range do you notice any kind of variation with the suppressor versus not having that? Like, are you noticing any differences in that?
You're saying if I take the suppressor off and shoot versus put it on?
Yeah, just performance wise, accuracy wise, what do you notice?
Zero difference performance and accuracy wise. It's just you need to sight it in with the silencer on, because when you recoil up, typically the silencer, if you have it on, you'll shoot below where you would without. So it's usually an elevation thing, and think of the recoil popping up. You add that silencer, there's less recoil.
To me, the 6.8 is where I noticed, like, I got one on the 350 Legend and I got one on the 6.8. And the 6.8's where I noticed the difference because of the kick. You said it's a 270. I argue with that. That damn thing kicks like a mule, in my opinion, without the silencer. Once you put the silencer on, it made a huge difference, I felt like. And of course, I say it kicks like a mule when you're sighting it in, and it takes 10 rounds. That's what you're feeling it at the end. But in the heat of the moment, when you're shooting a deer, you don't feel a thing because the adrenaline takes over. But when you added the silencer to it, it definitely takes it down a couple notches, where it's like, there's really not much recoil at all.
And really, in your case, it's a situation where you're in a box blind or something. You're trying to protect yourself with your ears, even with the walkers on or something.
Yeah.
Without a suppressor on, it's gonna rock your world inside one of those blinds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it makes it more enjoyable to shoot. There's this big push on smaller caliber weapons, and that's because they're more enjoyable to shoot. Right. The older we get, the more we pay attention.
You could shoot that 350 all day long,
right,
and not have a problem without a silencer.
And it makes the Magnum rounds, the 300 Win Mag. I mean, it's like shooting. Just it's enjoyable all of a sudden. So that's a big reason why I like shooting it too. Is sound wise, your kids are around. It's enjoyable for them to be taught on. They're not, jerking it. Lynching. I'm sure with Cam and him growing, I mean, those little things can be the difference on whether they like hunting or not.
Big time difference.
Yep.
Yeah, like the 350 is perfect for the kids.
That thing's awesome. I have a 350 Legend with the big silencer on for my kids.
It's
learning.
perfect for them. Yeah. So they enjoy shooting it, like you said.
Yeah.
You sure know a lot about the details of, the cartridges and all that stuff. I mean, where's that love of that part of it come from?
The guy taught me, Tony, he was excellent. He taught me all the little things about the cartridges and those sorts of things. And, so I started paying attention, and at the time I was, the bigger the gun, the better. I'm shooting a 300 Weatherby Magnum, which kicked like a turkey load, 3.5 inch turkey load. And you start understanding more about knockdown power, and it's just paying attention, really. But it matters. If I want to be an accurate shooter, you got to know those things. And if I can shoot a 210 BC bullet or a 650 BC bullet, I want to shoot the 650.
See, I don't know the difference.
It's just drag. Think of drag and wind push.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just going to carry that much farther. So, but if I'm at 500 yards and I'm shooting a 30-30, I'm aiming, 8 foot above, all of a sudden I can shoot
a flatter. It's shooting flatter.
Way flatter.
Okay.
Way flatter.
Right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big deal. So if you guys are searching for new setups, pay attention to that. The newer cartridges, that's why we see the 6.5 Creedmoor, this big push on these 6.5s. Well, they were designed for target shooting at 1,000 yards.
Gotcha.
Right. And you look at the 6.8 Western. Well, that's the hunter's version of that cartridge, only bigger. And so, it's really neat, the technology that's come along. And, Cody and I just wanting to be versatile hunters. That's all it is. I wouldn't consider myself a junkie or a shooter or anything like that. I do it so I can deer hunt and deer hunt proficiently.
Adventure awaits, and with the Tenzing backpacks, you're ready for anything. Whether you're chasing giant bull elk in the backcountry, monster whitetails in the Midwest, or simply exploring the great outdoors, Tenzing has your back, literally. Designed for performance, comfort, and durability, Tenzing backpacks keep your gear safe and accessible so you can focus on the journey ahead. From innovative storage solutions to ergonomic designs, Tenzing backpacks are built to handle your toughest expedition. So, gear up with Tenzing, your trusted companion for every adventure. Tenzing backpack, explore with confidence.
One of the things I proved one of your hunts, you actually texted me about it not long ago, a week ago or so, and it was the big deer you killed this year, and you were saying it was an interesting hunt. It was on, I don't know, has it aired? It's this week it aired on Critical Mass. So as this is airing, it would have been last week it aired. But anyhow, it was interesting because you're spotting and stalking this deer or whatever, and you had an opportunity, but you couldn't shoot prone in the prone position. That's not something I ever shot until I went to the shooting academy. And it's amazing how much more steady you are. But for whitetail guys, your typical whitetail hunting, you're not really shooting prone. You're in a tree stand, or you might have a shooting stick. Or back in the day, we actually had a stick. Or you're shooting almost like you're turkey hunting, or if you're shooting off the ground. So it's interesting because you didn't have kind of those points of contact that really help act as a tripod. So when you're out there in that scenario, did you end up shooting? You shot freehand or you shot off a stick on that? I don't remember.
I ended up shooting laying prone right over a pond dam.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It was a 165-yard shot. Just dumped the deer. It was easy then.
A great lesson from that hunt, though. I remember when you sent that to us and we put it on Deercast. I saw that. I was like, man, what a great example of just needing to be proficient in each one of those different positions, whether we hunt out of a tree stand or not. It's always great to be able to do that in that moment. I know walking to my spot a few times in northern Missouri where there's no cover at all. We kind of hunt a ditch, basically. You'll be walking in for an afternoon hunt and a buck will jump out of that ditch and all of a sudden everything's fire drill, right? Cameras are rolling, everything. And if your instinct is to try to stand and shoot offhand, just standing up, a lot of times it's not going to end well. But if you have that instinct to drop to a knee or lay down prone and you have that opportunity, a lot of times it's going to end in your favor.
Especially like military guys, those guys can really shoot free-handed well. Some of the guys I know. I know one guy that seems to hit deer better moving and running, him free-handing than he does off.
Watch out for that guy.
That's not me personally. The prone is to me the for me, I like the prone. I mean, it's just so easy. You can get a good rest. Free-handing,
that's tough.
Very tough, and guys can do it, but for me, it's like if he's at 200 yards and I'm trying to freehand, I'm not very comfortable there.
Especially you talk about those like a 6.8, it's a heavier gun, long barrel with you put a suppressor on the end of it. Those suckers are heavy by the top heavy, I guess. Yeah. So freehanding that's not exactly easy.
No, it's definitely not, but. The same point, know your weapons, right? If you're shooting a shorter barreled gun and you feel comfortable, hey, by all means do it. Me personally, I wouldn't consider myself that good of a shot. And so, I know what I can do and know what I can't. And like that deer we shot on last week's Critical Mass, we had an opportunity at him at 400 yards and we took Cody's tripod off and he was freehanding it. And it's like, I'm just not comfortable making this shot. Yeah. Had I been prone, we could have made it.
Yeah.
Turned out all well, but that deer had 9 lives.
That's a big deer.
We saw him that morning, or we shot at him the night before and missed. And that day we saw him.
And it looked like a hit. I don't know what the hell.
You review the camera, footage, it's like
right
deer's
in front
dead.
Of him. Yeah. Look, you see a shockwave.
Yeah.
So when you went and field dressed the deer, there was nothing there?
It had to have went between his neck and in front of his shoulder.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it looked like it. We were, we played it on the screen. We were high-fiving, thinking it was a shot. So the next day, literally, we saw him. We never left him. We barely ate.
You're lucky you saw the damn thing again.
I know. It was all
That's
Cody.
amazing.
It was all Cody. I never saw him at all. Cody's like, I saw our deer. I'm like, no.
He's dead.
And he's like, no.
He lives.
It was one of those hunts that video-wise,
risen.
how do you tell a story that lasted literally 12 hours that day or however long the day was?
You mentioned like, man, I got a lot of airtime. It's like, that's pretty rare on the TV shows. Like on the YouTube series, we can, like the old DVD stuff, we can lengthen it out. But on the TV shows, it's tough. Like the editors usually bounce around, quickly through the hunts. And then it was pretty much that episode was chasing that buck, but it was a good story.
It was an awesome hunt. We worked hard for him. We were starving and we were out of water at like 1:00 and we shot him 30 minutes before sundown. And so it was a difficult hunt. But hey,
you were stalking the whole time.
We never left him. And I'm telling, when we were stalking miles,
he
went, it was a 1.5 draw and we went on both sides several times, big circles. Like oof. it was a hard.
And the deer never see you?
No.
Just wind in your favor?
Yeah. Wind. And we were smart about it.
Yeah.
And we had that little 2D.
There you had that 2D
doe decoy. Yeah. We use that if we're crossing a little bottom. We think something can see us. We use that out west. And, you talk about the rifle hunting and what I grew up as a kid, 100 yards. I think that's important if anyone wants to go out west is the long range shooting today. It's so much easier than it used to be. That CDS dial, I'm telling you, it can make a person only comfortable at 100 or 150 yard shots out to 400, no problem.
Well, especially when you get into like the VX5, VX6 and those lines, they're really good. There's a lot of zoom power. What, 15 zoom or 18 maybe? Like you're really able to zoom in far.
Yeah. I like the VX5 line. It's a 3-15 by 44.
Okay.
And in Nebraska, we can't use illuminated reticles. And so the VX6 all has illuminated reticles.
Oh.
So I use the non-illuminated reticles and it's a 3-15 by 44 or something. It's an awesome scope, clear as a bell. It's a sweet setup on the it's a Winchester XPR thumb hole.
Mm-hmm.
Silencer ready. Dude, that gun shoots like
nice.
money.
Yeah.
It's a great shooting gun. My favorite gun I've ever shot.
What grain bullet are you shooting out of that?
It's the
is it 180?
It's less than that. I want to say it's 165 or 160.
Yeah.
I'm using the Winchester long range something. And that's the other thing when you're shooting bullets, see what your gun likes. Mm-hmm. There's different rounds and for me, I'm using factory gun, factory rounds. And I always like to shoot under a 1/2 inch minute of angle at 100 or within a 1/2 inch grouping at 100 yards. This shoots just over that. But I mean, for us, it's great. The golden rule is shoot within an inch at 100 yards.
Yeah.
I try to be pickier than that, but find what, you might shoot one round that shoots bad on your gun. Well, the next round might shoot perfect. And
Mark talks about that a lot.
Oh,
yeah. Like playing around with different types of, even within the same manufacturer, mm-hmm. Winchester might make 2 different types of, rounds for whatever it is. Maybe it's a 30-06 or maybe it's a 6.8, and they make 2 different grain bullets for it. He's like, you got to play around and find the one that your gun likes shooting.
Yeah.
300 Win Mag Deer Season XP ammo has the copper impact and the regular.
Yeah.
The regular Deer Season XP ammo was just under a 1/2 inch MOA. The copper impact was 3/4. I was using the original, Deer Season XP ammo in that 300 Win Mag. Shot a deer at 419 yards on Drury Outdoors maybe 8 or 9 years ago with that. Probably not quite that long, but it's such a sweet shooting gun. Out of the box ammo, out of the box gun. Shooting a 1/2 inch MOA.
Mm-hmm. That's what we discovered with my son's rifle last year, shooting the difference between just shooting the standard Winchester ammunition out of his 243 versus the Deer Season XP. When we got him into the Deer Season XP, not only does accuracy increase exponentially, knockdown power increased exponentially too. I think 2 seasons ago, he killed 2 or 3 deer. Not a single one out of a 243 took another step.
Yeah.
So it's just devastating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Deer Season XP ammo is awesome stuff if you haven't shot it. Most deer, they don't take a step after you shoot them.
All right. Well, okay. So that's the firearm side. Man, I'm getting blown up every that team call. All the team members are now calling.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about the point of view cameras.
Yeah, that's I think the most interesting, because a lot of guys self-film. A lot of guys just to have or they might have their own YouTube channels or whatever it may be, and they like to do the self-filming. And I find it fascinating. You guys even have built a stick that has all these cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a new company that's getting ready to launch that. I think it's called MaxView, and it's going to be launching here. It might be September. But basically it's kind of like that old style attack cam point of view where you could turn a bunch on with one remote, because they quit making those.
I'm going to be on MaxView's back order list.
Yeah.
I need 7 cameras.
Yeah, it's time to upgrade.
Yeah.
Get the new ones.
Yeah,
right?
I'm so excited for those guys to start the camera. Can't wait to try it out. The MaxView,
Yeah. So,
whether
awesome. It's a GoPro or whatever the point of view camera is, you guys took it to the next level, and you get a lot of exit shots, which I'm always shocked that the scent factor. So point of view is one thing, but I want to know what you're doing for scent control when you're putting these cameras out in the field. Because these guys him and Cody aren't putting them in the tree,
we're putting them on the ground.
They're putting them on the ground and getting exit shots where you're seeing the arrow go through the deer and all kinds of crazy, you'll have 10 cameras. So you're watching the deer from 100 yards away coming up a trail, and it's holy cow.
Well, so backstory,
well thought out.
We used the Garmin Verbs when they had the chain, and our thought process is when we're hunting deer, biggest deer on my farm the last few years, 150-inch deer, 143-inch deer. Last year, the neighbor shot a mid-60s. Biggest deer that I had access to in 5 years or 10 years. We're not getting the big deer.
The 150s, 160s.
They're
like
not
some
there.
Of the, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri guys.
They're not there. Cody's out. His number one target deer last year, starting the year, was an upper 120-inch 5-year-old deer. This year, he's going to be 6. So we're not
kill him. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, he killed a different deer that was kind of a surprise buck. Awesome Tacticam footage on that. But
that's the exit angle one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our thought is we're not going to kill giant deer. So how can we produce one heck of a hunt? There's a lot of risk involved in the scent. So we're always wearing our muddy rubber boots.
Right.
Those things are awesome, and we're real careful. We have the scent away spray.
So the HS scent away spray.
Yeah, we'll go on the ground and there's a lot of risk there, and we've had deer pick up on that. And
nose jammer or
nose jammer on the boots typically, but scent away spray on the camera themselves. So, I learned about the nose jammer from Tom Ware's is and deer don't smell you, and don't ask me why, but they don't.
Well, it's jamming. Supposedly, it's jamming their olfactory glands. That vanilla. For whatever reason, jams a whitetail's olfactory gland. And that's what supposedly it does.
And if we run out of scent away spray, you're darn right we're using the nose jammer on those. But we spray them down real good before we put them out. You think all the
oils
your fingers
and stuff on your hands.
We're very particular about that, and it might take us 40 minutes to set up Tacticam.
I can't imagine. I think of it often because I just know how big of a pain in the ass it is to go through that, because you got to think it out ahead of time. You got to get in there early enough, and you got to be completely scent free, and I don't know if there's a bunch that we don't see as far as when it doesn't work or when they spook on them. I don't know.
Yeah, it happens from time to time, but our thought is go big or go home. We're not going to kill giant deer. We're not, they're not there. And so how are we going to produce a heck of a hunt?
And these guys won Producer of the Year for us one year. It's our big kind of top pinnacle award at Drury Outdoors, and you guys won it one year.
Yeah, we were super, super pumped for that because, we're not the guys killing 170 plus inch deer every year.
A ton of deer.
Yeah.
But they're always well produced.
Right. And so that's always been our thought process is how can we make this entertaining? Obviously every 200-inch deer or every 180-inch deer on camera is awesome to see. Well, how can you make another 140-inch deer awesome footage?
Right.
And that's our thought process is, so we use the Tacticams or now these new cameras, the what were they called? MaxViews. I mean, those things are game changers for us. We put them out. Cody and I think we had 14 we would run sometimes last year.
That's insane.
I think we have close to 20 now because we're trying to find old,
where does it stop? How many can you do before the remote quits turning all of them on?
And
is there a limit?
We haven't found one yet,
Yeah.
but he'll have his cameras. I'll have mine. It's fun, especially with the turkey hunting. You don't know which way they're going to come from.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, especially turkey hunting.
Mark and those guys use them a lot during.
Yeah.
They use them all year, but turkey season's where we get really cool. That's where we get the best footage on the decoy, and you know, they put them in the decoy where they're facing out, you know, and you see the big gobbler come and attack them and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what sets a lot of what we do apart with DoD stuff is that, you know, how many turkeys all look the same. It's not like, you know, it's all,
angles.
Yeah, it's all those extra angles, all those different perspectives that you get to see as a viewer. And then what you guys are doing are I know I've seen you guys hunt out of state in some different places. Are you looking at your hunt locations, the places that you're going to be set up? Are you looking at them maybe like something like DeerCast maps and going like, okay, we can put a camera here, 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 and here? Are you using that, or how are you?
Well, we're always going to the deer first and foremost, right? But yeah, absolutely. We're setting them out. We'll pre-plan hunts with Tacticam. So like Cody will have, okay, I know I'm decoying. He'll get out there even sometimes the night before. He'll know, okay, the decoy's going here, and he'll set up his cameras where all he has to do is put in the battery. And
wow,
there you
yeah,
go.
I mean, so a couple years ago he killed that. Now that was luck. 2 years ago with that decoy deer coming in, he set that all up in the dark. And so what he's doing there is he points a camera in a general vicinity. He goes over there with the face of his phone. He sees where he can see a light on the Tacticam. He's like, all right, well, it's showing up right here. And that's how he's setting it up.
How did he attach it to the decoy? Is it zip tied on, or what? To the forehead?
He drilled holes through and set up his own 1/4 inch, you know, deals that screw on. And
I mean, it's next level.
Yeah,
it
awesome.
is the coolest. It is like you guys had one in a water tank, you know, like next to a water tank. Like it's always the coolest kills every year. And like you said, it's not because of the size of the deer. Mature bucks, great bucks, but it's because of the angles are so unique and different. That's what sets it apart.
Yeah, it's fun. We're never going to kill giant. I shouldn't say that. We're trying
You're
to
going to kill a giant.
But how can we?
Cody, he's got a big cat on his Nebraska farm.
Yeah, he gets it a month. And actually, there's 5 cats that he's getting pictures of now.
There's different cats.
Yes.
I would be scared. I think we've talked about this in the podcast before. I'd be shitting my pants if I knew, you know, going in the rut in the dark, and like I'd be scared to death.
So you guys know, you guys did a podcast on a mountain lion in Missouri. Like,
I got some shit for the people that live in that town, actually.
Oh, really?
So the one he's got a collar on was I believe, mother of that calf shot in Missouri.
Yeah, because it said it came from Nebraska. I might have even mentioned to you guys. Yeah. Like, I think Cody's got one.
I'm 95% positive. So I got one with the collar on my ground. Earlier this year, we're thinking it's the same one. It's actually a different one.
So can you, I don't know the legality. Can you in your state shoot them or not shoot them?
You can, but we can't because the season is farther west than where we're at.
Oh my God.
And Cody's property to mine's 40 miles away. He gets them every 3 weeks.
And he can't shoot them either.
They're trying to move the boundary to Highway 14, which then he could, but I couldn't. So I'm hoping they change that. They have, and I don't know if it's because of those, but the second that original cat started showing up, it was an adolescent male. It's probably 8 or 9 years old now. His deer have just nosedived.
There's an apex predator on the farm, and it isn't Cody.
Yeah, you know, he's hunting a river bottom ground, 6 mile dead end road.
Yeah.
No cattle graze in the trees because it's river bottom ground. I mean, it's perfect deer habitat. You would think that there'd be 4 or 5 shooters on that every year. And then there's just not.
So I guess if he's actually being threatened in any way, would you guys be able to shoot one?
Yeah, if we're threatened,
I'm sure you'd have to prove it.
It happened over by my piece of property maybe 5-6 years ago. It was a younger person, I believe, was like 12 years old, shot a mountain lion in the chest at like 12 yards.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
wow.
And the game and parks are really good about it. The game wardens, I would say, you know, we keep in touch with those guys, and they'll even, hey, that cat was this one or whatever. They're
you guys are getting intel, like good intel for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure they would want to hear from you on your trail camera. Some of his trail camera pictures and videos, it's eerie. Like I'm like, oh man.
So can he get information from the conservation on where those cats have come from to him, or it's been years ago now, but I remember there was one that was tracked from somewhere in Montana all the way to Minnesota, same cat that far. And I just wonder, like, if he's getting information about each cat if he's learning about them as they're coming through, or
if you can tell them apart, they're keeping track of them as best as they can.
That would be tough from the hunter's standpoint. It'd be tough to know the difference other than size, I guess.
Yeah.
But like
we're
on
saying
a trail camera picture,
radio collars and stuff.
The radio collar's the same. If they're males, you know what I mean? It'd be like, well, is this Tom or Jerry? I don't know.
The radio collars really help, but
Right.
I will say his original radio collar deer or mountain lion, the collar is no longer working.
Oh, really?
Oh.
And so, it's harder to track that one. But if someone gets a picture and they don't have a radio signal, then they know. But it's been MIA.
How far does he know how far does some of these ones that are going through you guys' properties have traveled?
Oh, miles.
Where they originate from?
Well, the one that's on his property got collared like 25 miles away downriver.
Oh, so not that far.
Not that
because
far
they
where it got
travel
collared.
hundreds of miles, right?
But it's cub, the one that got ear tagged and shot in Missouri. I mean,
which is far south.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, 400 miles, 500 miles away.
Wow.
So they move, and its range was all the way, because I'd have another buddy up the river farther that would get pictures of the same cat all the way up and down the river there. So
I find it fascinating.
Their range is monstrous. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Well,
and you figure, how many did you say you had? 9 on camera?
I think Cody could count. I think he can pick out 5 different cats.
That's a lot
in the last 6 months. Yeah.
I mean, one is a rarity down here. Obviously, out there it's probably not, but 5 seems like it would be a rarity.
Yeah.
Well, you can imagine how quickly they can knock out a deer population when they start piling up like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
now, are they like wolves? Will they just kill to be killing, or do they only kill for
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they stash, so they'll kill
and then come back,
stash and then come back. Most of the time, I know that's what they do out west. That's one of the things we watched for when we elk hunted out there a lot. Was it's one thing to know a bear's in the area. It's another thing to walk up on a cat stash because you just don't know.
He's just watching you.
Yeah,
he's in a tree looking at you.
Yeah,
well, they're coming in.
If you hear him growling, get the hell out of there.
I heard one. I was probably 14 years old. We were working on a cow that was down middle of the night, and we could hear this noise. And the vet tech's sister worked at the zoo in Omaha with mountain lion. She's like, "That is a mountain lion," and I'm like, 14 years old.
We got her up a little.
Oh yeah, I had a little double barrel 410. I went to the truck and got. Exactly. And then first picture was an 06. And then the next picture I had got was maybe 4 marches ago where I hunt. And then recently, but Cody's 40 miles west and he really started picking them up and it's an every 3 week occurrence.
And they're coming east.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you hear about it in Missouri more and more.
Right.
You hear about them more and more.
Have you heard them chirp? Have you heard that?
It's eerie.
It's like it's a bird chirp. It sounds like a little bird.
Yeah.
But they'll sit there and rather than growl or purr or whatever, they'll just chirp. Just sound like a little bird, and they'll just do it again and again.
And now, is that calling to something else, or what is it? What is that vocalization?
I'm not sure what you've heard it.
Right? Yeah, I've heard the chirp, and the other one was like their growl. It's like a wow, almost.
Yeah.
And it was only a few hundred yards away, if that. I mean, it was eerie.
Yeah, crazy.
Neck standing up on the back, your hair standing up on the back of your neck. For sure.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so it's nuts, and that's got to be hurting Cody a lot.
Oh, sure. If that's your one spot and you got 6 mountain lions on it and no deer, I mean, what are you gonna do if that's your only spot?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't shoot mountain lions,
right?
So yeah, it sounds like you're done hunting.
Yeah, it's really affected him in a worse way. And there's nobody that works harder than that guy.
He is a hard worker.
Yeah, he'll sit. I mean, the one year he sat 12 days straight before he got an opportunity.
His reactions are coon dog like.
They're so good.
In emotion, because you could tell he's grinding. He's a grinder, and so once he finally connects, it all pours out.
The crazy part is, like last year, he hunted 7 times. I filmed him 5 of the times. And when I film him, I'm getting home at like 1 in the morning.
It seems like you're never with him filming.
I know. But so last year, he hunted 7 times. I filmed with him 5. And of course, he kills.
Of course.
The time I'm not there. And,
it's always that way.
Yeah. And that's the other reason why we like let's go back to the Tacticams, is we want authentic reaction, right?
Yeah, so the real time.
That's another reason why we use them. We'll face them back towards us. Is you guys have all watched TV and you can just tell someone's faking it.
Always. We're not actors.
Yeah, especially
some of us are barely hunters.
Yeah, we're not actors, and so we want it to be authentic, and we want people to feel how we feel.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of it too. Is bringing it back to real, and there's nobody more real than that guy right there when we talk about reactions.
Yeah.
And he puts his heart and soul into it, and it's fun being his partner.
Yeah.
We have so much fun together, and it's very no ego. We both like filming probably more than we like hunting, and so I couldn't ask for a better guy to be partners with. So,
Victory Archery, the choice for precision, performance, and durability. Trusted by archers of all levels, their cutting-edge carbon arrows deliver unmatched strength, accuracy, and consistency. Whether you're competing or hunting, Victory Archery ensures every shot counts. Shoot for victory with Victory Archery.
So there's another thing that Jim Richman here, he had sniffed out on the internet. It's a segment you want to run, right?
Yeah, let's run it. So usually I get the crap from Tim, right?
Yeah, usually Jim's sitting here in the office and we're talking shit about him.
Should I leave now or be prepared for?
No, it'll be fun.
All right.
We'll jump into, instead of Matt and Tim versus the internet, it's Matt and Jim versus the internet. And Brian.
Okay.
T
All
for
right,
J, let's go.
Yeah. So part of what I do for the podcast is I'll look for these articles and just kind of work up these games and stuff. But for this one, it was super weird. We've all heard of a jackalope, right? We all know we could play around with that. And of course, when you're a kid, someone tries to convince you that the one they bought at Cabela's is real and the whole thing.
Like a snipe.
Yeah, you guys probably have heard of this. Is like these rabbits in Colorado are actually growing horns. Have you heard this?
No.
So
I'm raising the flag right here.
I have heard it, and it made you like I've seen pictures on social media. It makes you think it was like AI or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, today, just a little bit ago, like right before the fall meeting started, my sister Kim in Olathe, Kansas, she sends me a link to an article. She's like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "Wow, we're supposed to be talking about it on the podcast later."
So this is legit.
It's legit.
Okay.
It's legit. I saw it just floating around on social media earlier this week. And then today I looked up, the AP has officially published an article on it. And basically
fake news.
Yeah, fake news. We don't know if the AP actually reports real things or not. But yeah, it talks about these cottontail rabbits outside of Fort Collins, Colorado, that have been seen with these protrusions coming out of out of their face. It's super weird. It's not like
creepy looking.
Yeah, and it's just random places. And it's actually like a hard horn that's growing out of these animals.
So I haven't read it. Is it a new subspecies, or is it a deformity? Is it radioactive?
No,
sewage in Fort Collins.
That would make total sense, right?
Is it a real Springfield like Simpsons situation here?
That's what I was thinking. All the radio from the military base, there.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. But it is actually a virus.
Huh.
That are in these rabbits. So we're always talking about viruses and deer and all this stuff, and you never, and growing up as a kid, my grandpa was always like, "Hey, even if you're out with your BB gun, don't shoot a rabbit before frost." Right.
Because it's got parasites.
It's got all kinds of parasites and stuff. And some people won't even hunt like squirrels before frost or anything like that. So I'm looking around at this and I'm going, okay, now grandpa was exactly right, because this is a virus.
Grandpas are always right.
Yeah. And I don't even know if I can pronounce this correctly.
Oh, let's see how you do, big shot.
Yeah. You remember all the times I messed with you guys, right? It says it's a mostly harmless virus called Shope papillomavirus. So papillomavirus.
Who's got the public education now?
Yeah, that's right. Shope. Yeah, I don't even know. It would have been great to put this on with Tim on here, but
he would have got it right, I'm sure.
Yeah, he probably would have. He probably
would have searched how to pronounce papillomavirus.
Yeah. So it almost sounds like a kid's book, right? Like you don't even know how to say it, but it causes wart-like growths that protrude from their faces like metastasizing horns. So it's almost like it's cancer growing out of these rabbits' faces.
Wow.
Can you imagine being on a trail and seeing something like this?
There's got to be some sort of radioactive something going on there.
Turn around and run.
There's an issue here.
If this would have been the wildlife word of the day, I would have lost. 100%.
We had a cook doing that. I was doing too poorly.
Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of takes away the whole cute rabbit thing. And I don't know if Jordan can put that up or not.
Yeah, producer Jordan will have to put our producer.
Yeah, here it is right here.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Is that not creepy or what?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
That is out of The Simpsons. 100%.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have saved this for like Halloween. But yeah, I don't know. It's gross.
It looks like a character off of Star Wars or something.
twice in the same episode.
Yeah, that's nasty. You see that turn and run.
Yeah. It gives me weird, like, what's the movie? Monty Python vibes.
Yeah.
With the weird rabbit and stuff.
Bane from the Batman movie.
Right. Yeah.
Hell of a mask there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ugh.
That had to be where the jackalope came from.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so.
Jeez Louise.
Nasty thing.
All right. Well, I'd say this is kind of a short and sweet episode.
Hey, that's how we like it.
But I have to drive an hour to go make sure I'm at my son's softball or baseball game. He's pitching tonight.
You got to be there.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
The big time.
Oh,
and I'm
man.
sure he's pretty nervous.
The show.
That's right. So we're going to do one last thing. We got some new Rack Pack members. First of all, we need you guys to go give us a rating on your favorite platform that you're watching or listening and give us a review. Preferably 5-star. If it's 1, you can just hold your review. Maybe that's why.
If you're a 1-star, plug your ears right now. Don't listen.
I keep telling people to hold the 1s. We need some more 5 stars, and we need you to share the podcast. That's the price of admission here at the Drury Outdoors 100% Wild podcast. So please do that. We got a thing called the Rack Pack. It's a private Facebook group. Producer Steve, new guy in the studio. He just joined. I saw today. So shout out Steve.
Attaboy.
Nice work, Steve.
And so basically you go type in 100% Wild Rack Pack in Facebook. It'll come up. You answer a few questions. Boom, you're in. You're in the shenanigans. I know Brian's in.
I am a Rat Pack member.
My man.
Yes.
My man. Because we ask every person, especially the Drury team members, we always ask. And there's always a guy like Kyle Lamore.
Yep.
That's like, oh, shoot, I forgot I haven't been on it. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, we're Rat Pack members.
At this point, just being a
maybe
contrarian.
first 100.
Yeah, my man.
Yeah, that's right.
My man. Well, I'm sorry it took 441 episodes to get you on.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
We were waiting for you to come in studio. It makes it funner. Mm-hmm. So we got some new names this week. I'm not going to read them all because there are actually a ton. There's probably 15 names here. But I'll read a few. Hunter Brown, Jaden Martin, Rick Nold, Chris Stiegel, Adam Locke, who was the last week's podcast guest.
Great episode, by the way.
Was a great episode.
Yeah, heck of it.
Very inspiring.
Yeah. Yes.
Lose a ball, gain a 200.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you?
Yeah.
That should be a question. That should be a poll. Adam, I hope you don't mind us talking about it. It was very inspiring, but basically he had testicular cancer. He had to have a nut removed, and then he killed a 200-inch deer like a month later. So that's the question that we're going to put in the Rack Pack. Would you rather would you be willing to lose a nut to kill a 200-inch deer? So, Brian, would you?
Probably not.
Okay. Tim.
Absolutely, I would.
Joke's on you. I already have lost it.
I have 3 kids. I'm good.
Well, there
Let's
you
go
go.
ahead.
Yeah, I guess I do have that part taken care of. We got
So
3 as
my
well.
answer is I'm too big of a pansy.
Yes.
I don't want the surgery. I'm sorry. That's why I haven't got fixed. I'll go other routes to prevent having other children. I don't want to have anybody messing around down there. So
well, where Adam's got one up.
I'm not doing the switch.
Adam's story is incredible, but the fact that he did it all in the same year.
Within a month.
Yeah.
I can't believe he was out there, had the because I know like there's stitches and all that stuff. Like you don't want to be busting that stuff open. I'm sure there was like some sort of like weight limit of what he could carry, or I'm thinking like climbing up into the stand probably was not wise. So
and he's
shout
thinking
out
the
to
whole
Adam.
time, why does the surgery have to be now? Why can't it be in February or
Right.
March? Or,
Yeah.
most hunters are thinking that way.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Adam for getting them both done.
Yeah,
and
it
his
was
wife
cool.
just being there the whole time.
Yeah.
Just,
His wife sounds like
Yeah.
she's an
A
amazing
saint, nurse practitioner,
Yeah.
I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a listener too, folks.
Yeah.
Not just a pretty face. All right.
Baby face, maybe.
So Donnie Costin, Josh Stevens, Justin Kinter, Joshua Smith, Jason Newberg. I'm going to leave the rest for next week.
Lisa Davidson might be a fake.
Oh.
It's a girl. Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa, no way. I did approve of, but you said, I think you mentioned it, like Matt's just approving everybody. And I was like, screw it. I mean, if somebody's going to lose some money to somebody fake selling ammo, that's their fault.
Lisa and Marie, if you're real, I apologize. But typically when ladies join, it's because they're fake.
Yeah.
It's definitely not because of Tim or Matt, right?
No. Or there's a joint account. Somebody got in trouble. Somebody was messaging DMs somebody else. And so they got a joint account.
Yep.
I will forever make fun of people with joint accounts.
Mm-hmm. That's so true, though.
Like, no, I don't want a Facebook page. And I just want to check in every once in a while. So it's Tom and Susie's page.
Yep.
It's like, all right, bud.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Right.
All right. Well, you guys got any closing shots?
No, good luck everyone this year. You know, for us, early season's just around the corner. It'll be close to September 1 when this airs.
Yep.
We will be in the tree stands and wish us the best luck you can.
Hunt? Where's first hunt?
We hunted last night, almost two nights ago. We almost killed a deer. It just wasn't quite big enough, full velvet deer in Nebraska. So, yeah, exactly.
They're already open in Nebraska.
It's a tribal hunt on the Omaha Reservation. Okay. We got one of the few tags that they let out for early velvet.
Don't tell Coondog, he'll be there.
We're after them. It's tough. It's public ground. Yeah. Next night, guess what? Someone's parked right where we expect the deer to come out.
Really?
I mean, so it's public ground basically, but they know where we're at, so we're after it. But yeah, season starts for us early, and that new DV8 camouflage would have been nice because I was wearing the pants because I didn't have the upper, but I just got the
TRX
t-shirt
from last year.
That would have been so nice in 91 degree weather.
Yeah, the new DV8 stuff, it just came out. The early season stuff from Muddy just came out. And so it's available on their website. And I got some yesterday at the studio, and it's a lot more lightweight, almost see-through.
It's perfect.
And it's what you need for
early season guys. Man, that stuff's perfect.
It's going to be hot. Like finally, we've been giving Mark crap about his Gleisberg index thing and the drought. And I mean, here it is. We haven't had rain in a while, and we had a wet spring, and it was wet up through July in a lot of areas, and it shut off. And of course, I planted food plots, and no rain since then, and it's here we go. And Ohio's getting smoked with EHD. Yep. It's kind of popping up some other places, so hopefully we get some much needed rain here.
Yeah,
it is getting cool, so that's a plus.
It's gonna help. All this rain we've gotten all summer long, now it's dry. Like,
you would think from that Hurricane Aaron, you would think something would kick up out here. Maybe not as west as you guys are from that in Nebraska, but you would think we'd get some remnants of it here.
We've gotten more rain lately than you guys.
Really?
2 weeks ago. I mean, the ground. Yeah. I mean, so we've gotten some rain the last couple of weeks. So twice. So it's different. Usually you guys get more rain than us.
Yeah.
I love seeing those lows in the low 50s though this time of year.
They're calling here in St. Louis for some in the upper 40s coming up this week. Mm-hmm. So in some of the areas in St. Louis. Yep. So
time to start watching deer cast real close.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there are some amazing changes that have happened inside DeerCast, and some really big ones coming September 1st, roughly, but I believe September 1st. So keep an eye out. Keep your apps updated. Some cool
game
stuff.
Changers.
Yeah, some cool
game
stuff.
changers. Can't wait.
Yeah. Did you like that? I unveiled it to the team today.
For where we hunt, it's going to be so useful.
Yeah, good.
Love it. So
yeah,
good deal. Well, we're gonna have to have you back into the studio, and we didn't even get to talk about your elk. He kills a freaking elk in Nebraska in the corn stalks. Crazy hunt on Critical Mass last year. So we'll have to dive into all that stuff. But we appreciate you coming in, and congratulations on he got the social media person of the year award for the Drury Outdoors team. Did the most, and had the most engagement, all that good stuff.
You are officially an influencer, my friend.
Not what I aspire to be, but hey,
he's a good follow.
Why not?
Informative. It's not. He's not got a shirt off like Tim, but it's informative.
There it is. There it is. We got around.
Bingo.
All right. Well, that's all for me. Until next time. Peace out.
DeerCast movement prediction and mapping tools combined with our exclusive virtual rain gauges gets you ahead of your game.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by DeerCast Maps, waypoints, weather, virtual rain gauges, and more. Every tool you need to get ahead of your game.